The desert wind hits first, hot, dry, and sharp enough to taste. Then you see it, a hill layered in black industrial waste, the fossilized leftovers of furnaces that once ran so intensely they may have stripped the valley of trees and shut an entire mining economy down for centuries. This place has a nickname that sounds like a fairy tale, King Solomon's Mines. But here's the problem. No archaeologist has ever found a sign that Solomon himself owned a single shaft. And yet the mines are real. The slag is real. The charcoal is real. So where did the legend of a single hidden treasure mine come from? And why do so many people still go looking for it? Tonight, we follow the trail from biblical wealth to smoky copper camps, and into one of history's most profitable misunderstandings. To understand King Solomon's mines, we have to split the story into two worlds, the world of ancient industry and the world of modern imagination. Traditionally, Solomon is placed in the 10th century BCE, roughly 970 to 931 BCE, a king remembered for wisdom, diplomacy, monumental building, and a level of wealth that later writers described as almost unimaginable. But the Bible itself never hands us a neat GPS coordinate for a treasure mine. Instead, it hints at prosperity through trade routes, tribute, taxation, and regional production, a wealth machine, not a magic cave. Now, fast forward thousands of years. In the 19th century, a Victorian public hungry for adventure stories meets a perfect idea, a lost, forbidden place overflowing with riches. In 1885, novelist H. Rider Haggard publishes King Solomon's Mines, a runaway hit that plants the image permanently in global culture, an epic lost world treasure hidden deep in Africa. Meanwhile, archaeology in the Middle East is uncovering something that complicates the fantasy. In desert valleys like Timna, there were enormous copper industries, mines, and smelting camps with hundreds of furnaces dating to the same broad era people associate with Solomon. So this video asks one precise question. If the mines existed, but the Solomon connection is unproven, what are we really looking at? Here's the challenge. History doesn't behave like legend. Legends point to one dramatic location, one sealed cavern, one jackpot. Archaeology, on the other hand, usually gives you messy answers. Layers, dates, trade networks, and arguments. In southern Israel's Timna Valley, archaeologists excavated a massive smelting site known as Slave's Hill. Radiocarbon dating placed key activity in the 10th century BCE, right in the era popularly linked to Solomon. But the same evidence also suggested something else. The operation may have been run by a local society, likely early Edomites, not necessarily Israelites under Solomon. And that's the tension at the heart of this story. Because if the mines were Edomite, then the nickname Solomon's Mines might be less a discovery and more a branding exercise, one that started long after the last furnace cooled. Archaeologists have even had to overturn older assumptions that these mines were primarily Egyptian and earlier. Newer dating pushes the peak industrial activity later into the Iron Age window. Even more dramatic, evidence suggests industrial copper production could be so intense that it reshaped the environment, exhausting key fuel sources like acacia and forcing smelters to use worse fuels until the entire system collapsed. So why does it matter? Because this isn't just about Solomon. It's about how myth hijacks real places and how real places can still be astonishing even without the treasure. Picture Timna at its peak, Not a quiet ruin, but a working industrial zone in the desert. You'd hear the bellows' first rhythmic blasts feeding oxygen into clay furnaces. You'd smell smoke and hot mineral dust. At night, the valley would glow in pulses as slag poured out like black lava. This wasn't a single mine, it was a network. Mining shafts, smelting camps, waste heaps, supply lines, and people who knew how to turn stone into metal on an industrial scale. The logistics alone are mind-bending. Smelting requires ore, water, food, and most critically fuel. According to analysis highlighted by the Biblical Archaeology Society, researchers studied charcoal remains preserved in industrial waste piles and found heavy reliance on acacia trees and white broom during the 11th–10th centuries BCE, the hottest burning fuels for efficient smelting. But here's the twist. The desert ecosystem is fragile. Acacia isn't just wood. It's a keystone species supporting shade, moisture retention, and biodiversity. Industrial harvesting at this scale can destabilize everything. And while Timna grabs headlines, it's part of a broader regional story. Across the Arabah and into Fainan, sites like Kerbat en-Nahas show the scale of Iron Age copper production and the debate over whether complex, nomadic polities could organize industries this large. So by the time storytellers later asked, where did Solomon's wealth come from? They were staring at real industrial landscapes, ready to be turned into a legend. Now we hit the moment where the legend and the evidence collide. For centuries, people imagined Solomon's riches as something hidden, sealed away, waiting for the right map. That's exactly the fantasy engine H. Rider Haggard taps in 1885, a mysterious route, a deadly landscape, and a lost world kingdom guarding unimaginable treasure. But archaeology delivers a different climax, one that's arguably more dramatic because it's real. At Timna, the story isn't one secret vault. It's an industrial boom and then a hard stop. Researchers examining slag piles and charcoal layers describe how fuel sources shift toward less efficient materials, suggesting the best burning local wood had been depleted. When acacia and white broom vanish, the cost of smelting skyrockets. And in a desert environment, that can mean only one thing. Operations become financially and logistically impossible. The mines go bust, the furnaces go cold, the valley falls silent. So if you're looking for the treasure moment, this is it. The realization that the wealth wasn't sitting in a cave. It was moving through smoke. Copper ingots, portable value, could flow into trade routes, tribute systems, and political power. And whether Solomon controlled any of it directly remains debated. The evidence can place the industry in the right era, but it can't stamp a royal signature on the slag. The climax isn't finding gold. It's watching myth try and fail to outperform reality. So what are King Solomon's mines really? They're a fusion of three things. First, a biblical reputation. Solomon becomes a symbol of wealth so powerful that later generations try to explain it with one irresistible shortcut. He must have had a mine. Second, a real industrial landscape. Timna Valley wasn't a fairy tale. It was one of the most visible archaeological signatures you can find. Thousands of mines, dozens of smelting sites, and massive slag deposits. Excavations and radiocarbon dating put intense activity in the Iron Age window, including the 10th century BCE, and suggest local groups, likely early Edomites, operated much of it. Third, a Victorian storytelling bomb. In 1885, H. Writer Haggard takes the idea and turns it into a global obsession, transforming Solomon's wealth into a single lost treasure location. And here is the legacy. Even when archaeologists can't confirm a Solomon ownership label, the real story is still incredible. We're looking at ancient high-tech people coordinating labor, fuel, food, and metallurgy in brutal desert conditions. In some interpretations, the industry may have even pushed the environment to collapse, leaving scars still visible in the ecosystem today. So the lost mines remain lost in the way many historical treasures are lost, not hidden underground, but scattered across trade, politics, and time. And maybe that's the most honest ending, because the real treasure isn't a hoard. It's the evidence. So let's make this a debate in the comments. If you had to choose, which explanation feels most believable? Solomon's wealth from a single legendary mine, or wealth built through trade networks and control of regional industries like copper? And if you were an archaeologist standing on Slaves Hill, staring at those furnace remains, would you call it Solomon's Mines, or retire that name forever? If you enjoyed this kind of myth versus evidence storytelling, hit like. It tells the algorithm you want more history that's messy, human, and real. Subscribe if you want the next episode, because we can keep pulling this thread. Next time, we could go deeper into the mystery of Ophir, the unknown source of biblical riches, and why nobody can agree where it was.